What is up, fellow people?
Not much.
And fellow non-people, maybe? We've got a couple more chapters unlocked here. We've got Mayuri, Luca, and Moeka. I think we're going to keep going in order. So let's do the Luca chapter.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't imagine this will go badly in any way, shape, or form.
This might be... There's no way this could go badly. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep up our headcanon for this one, depending on where it goes, but we will try.
We'll force it to work.
We'll force it to work, because we've done it so long at this point that we can't stop. Sunk cost fallacy, you understand. Just bracing for impact, nothing but quiet as we are about to start here, like...
Okay.
All right, that's a hell of a way to start. Oh, this is going to be about Luca during that part of... No, because the number was way off. Huh. All right, we'll hit it.
Mayuri-chan is dead. Everything had happened so suddenly. She was totally fine the day before. Her smile was as energetic as always, making everyone around her feel worry-free. Mayuri-chan is my friend. No, my best friend. Or at least, that's what I choose to believe. Mayuri-chan was the first person to talk to me when I had just entered high school, when I didn't know anyone. You should have more confidence in yourself, Luca-chan. She would always try to cheer me up. To be honest, none of this felt real. Not until the day before yesterday when I saw Mayuri-chan at the funeral. It was like she was sleeping inside of her coffin, the usual smile on her face. It felt like she could wake up at any moment, warmly laugh, and say, "Tuturu." But no matter how long I waited, Mayuri-chan didn't move. Her eyes remained closed. She didn't move an inch. Her skin was cold to the touch. She was so stiff. That's when I finally realized Mayuri-chan is dead. She'll never get to smile again, or look at me with those bright eyes, or talk to me in her gentle, girly voice. Never again. Where do people go when they die? I asked my dad something like this when I was a kid.
Well, you see, people become gods when they die.
And that's what he taught me.
Become as gods.
But the reality is that people are burned to ash when they die. Mayuri-chan had become ash. She had become smoke rising up into the sky. That was supposed to be a sad thing, but then why is the sky so clear and blue? I look up with my dry eyes, now incapable of producing tears, as my mind races. I place my hand gently on my chest. Small and inconspicuous, but a soft swell. Proof that I am a girl. A girl. I say it out loud. Yes, I am a girl. I talk like a guy, but I'm a girl. There's no mistaking it.
Oh no, how is this I'm almost more worried that they've...
Oh yeah.
I'm almost more worried that this is where they're starting. All right.
For a long, long time, I've had the same dream over and over again. I'm not sure when it started. I think it started when I was just a child, so I must have been having this dream for quite some time. It's a very strange dream, one in which I live as a boy. Everything about how I look is the same. My personality is the same. I'm as unconfident and introverted as ever. The only thing different about me is my sex. Everybody around me treats me like a boy, and I guess that makes sense. In my dream, I am a boy. Of course they'd treat me that way. My mom, my sister, and my friends. even the person most special to me. And for some reason, the me in that dream feels that being a boy is a sad thing. The me in that dream wishes they were a girl. Whenever I wake up from that dream, I always check my body, and then I feel relief wash over me.
Yeah, that's that feeling you're describing. there's a word for that.
There's a little blue pill for that one. This has been happening ever since I was a child. Back then, I thought everyone was having similar kinds of dreams, but I was wrong. I asked my sister and my friends, but nobody had the same experience I did. Even Mayuri-chan said she'd never had a dream like that before.
What's the meme going around co-host right now? It is easier to imagine time travel shenanigans than it is to imagine taking estrogen.
So one day, I decided to do some research on it. According to the books, a dream where your sex changes signifies a change in the nature of your relationships with the people around you. But looking back on things, I can't see where or when that change could have happened, if at all. And if that was the case, why would I keep seeing the same dream over and over? I've always wondered about this. Why am I the only one with these bizarre dreams? But then one day, the answer found me.
You were actually, born a boy.
The words of the person most special to me. The words of Okabe Rintaro-san. Okabe-san had told me that originally I was actually a boy, but later turned into a girl? His words pierced my chest like a sharp knife. I was so stunned. I couldn't believe that someone so important to me could say something as awful as that. Was that how Okabe-san had always looked at me? I can't believe he's pretending to be a girl when he's actually a boy? I don't know if such a thing is even possible, but I remember being immensely sad that he felt that way about me.
Again, incredibly because the writer's doing a great job here of capturing that kind of feeling of betrayal you get post-transition.
Yeah.
When you realize some people around you won't see you that way, and you're like, oh, that hurts so much, actually, doesn't it?
But also, judging by how Luca is always the running joke, it's like, when is it going to happen? When is this going to turn from being written in a way that's pretty relatable and well thought out and empathetic into dropping the ball? Because, like, I feel like it'll have to at some point, because that's just what happens with Luca in Steins Gate.
Here's the thing. This game isn't written by the same author as the main games.
Oh, you're right. This was done by a collection of different authors, right?
Yeah, Linear Bounded Phenogram was written by other authors, which is why they're all kind of disconnected in their own world lines. Gotta love a visual novel that contains an in-universe way to write fan fiction, right?
I'm curious who handled this art.
If you want to look that up, I'll read for you for a little bit.
Okay.
I loved him for so long. Ever since the day I first met him. And just looking at Okabe-san's face filled me with joy. Yo, Luca, go. Just hearing him call out my name was enough to put a smile on my face. And one day, when I have the courage, when I become much stronger, then will my feelings finally reach him? I'd always felt that way, but to find out that Okabe-san had thought of me as a boy, just thinking about it filled me with a deep sadness. A deep sadness. It was so painful that I couldn't help but cry. But somewhere in my heart, I was satisfied. Yeah, I knew it. This discomfort I've had forever, that weird recurring dream, the feeling that I'm not who I'm supposed to be. I felt like Okabe-san's words had finally cleared the doubt in my mind. I really was a boy. Triggered by Okabe-san's words, memories of my time as a boy began to surface. It's not quite right, actually. According to Okabe-san, it was a world line in which I was a boy. Even now, the whole thing is too difficult for me to really understand, but nonetheless, the fact remains that I was a boy at some point. Okabe-san told me he wanted me to go back to being a boy. According to him, something called the phone wave, name subject to change, is what turned me into a girl. He and the others had made it. Said that by sending messages into the past using this machine, a person can change history. Apparently I, as a boy, had told him that I wanted to be a girl. I wanted to be a girl. Which means that I hated life as a guy. I had always wanted to be a girl. And what about the me of now?
I have no idea where this person got their start, but it looks like the author is Yasumoto Toru, who now does Chaos Child, Zero, Robotics Notes Dash, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But apparently got started with the Steins Gate stuff, doing like, looks like working on about half of My Darling's Embrace.
Okay. So they just someone that was kind of around on the team.
Yeah.
It's not like one guy writes everything, but
yeah.
like, there is like, you know, yeah. Interesting. Okay, well that doesn't really help us, but
Yep. Did you already say I gave it some thought?
I haven't said I gave it some thought.
I gave it some thought, and my conclusion was clear as day. I still don't want to be a boy. I want to stay like I am, but...
Please, Lukako, if you don't...
His next words were beyond my comprehension.
If you don't, Mayuri is going to die.
Mayuri-chan is my best friend, but she's also Okabe-san's childhood friend.
Ken. One part of Steins Gate that could have been solved just estrogen, right?
Like, well, we'll have to go back to the original world line, but I know I can help you get set up with a clinic.
Don't worry. I know what guy.
Luca's dad would be fine with it.
The thing is, Luca's dad would actually be fine with it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad you've discovered that about yourself.
Luca's dad is great like that. Like legitimately. And I imagine Okabe would find some way to justify being awesome about it, like, you've taken control of your own destiny.
But of course would continue the stupid joke anyway, because it's Okabe and he has to have a way to screw up.
Okabe is not... He'll get better. I feel like as he starts reaching his mid-20s, he's gonna mellow out a little bit.
Mayuri-chan dying. It all seemed like a bad joke, but even I knew that Okabe-san wasn't the sort of person to goof around about this. He can say and do weird things at times, but when the going gets tough, he's always been serious. I wouldn't have fallen in love with him if he wasn't. Okabe-san said that my becoming a girl had altered the world line, resulting in Mayuri-chan's eventual death. So in order to prevent that from happening, I'd have to go back to being a boy. Of course, I couldn't just accept that. I even considered that maybe Okabe-san had always hated me, which was why he was saying these awful things.
To be fair, I think this is also the one instance where maybe you have the conversation with someone like, hey, listen. Someone's life hangs in the balance literally here.
But 5 days later, in the evening, Mayuri-chan had died. According to Hashida-san, who was with her at the time, Mayuri-chan was acting perfectly normal before everything went south. But then all of a sudden she collapsed in pain and then eventually stopped moving altogether. She had really died. And if what Okabe-san said was true, it was all my fault.
Okay, well that's maybe a misleading way of putting it, Okabe.
Yeah.
It's not all Luca's fault. It's
your fault for being roped into my experiment that I did.
That one. Right? It's like, who set us down this path originally, buddy?
Yeah.
Buddy Bumpkins.
Mayuri-chan died because I'm a girl? Because I'm a girl. Because I wished to be a girl. Mayuri-chan died. This body is what killed her.
Listen, there's a killer bot, and then there's a...
And yet I'm still in this body. Why am I still like this? Why am I still a girl? Even now, I want to stay as is. Is that how I really feel? I don't know anymore. I don't understand my own feelings. But if I really do believe that, I'm the worst.
Oh, no, honey. No, that's not...
Oh.
That's not... It's not your responsibility, right? God damn it.
Looking at my body had become unbearable, so I turn away, only to see a certain object. A toy katana. Samidare.
Oh, it's the demon sword Samidare George.
Okabe-san had given this precious gift to me, the timid girl who could barely ever speak her mind. He told me that by practicing swings with this, I'd be able to become strong. Strong. 11, 12, 13.
Luca swinging the demon sword CG.
I swing Samidare with all of my admittedly rather minimal might. If swinging this thing can get rid of my doubt, can get rid of my need to think, my mind and heart can't help but feel this way. If swinging this sword hundreds of times means getting rid of these feelings. But 21, 22, 20? I've never been particularly strong. I don't have physical or mental strength. No guts, no decisiveness. No matter how much I try to act like I care for my friends, at the end of the day, I'm only looking out for myself. To prove that, I can't even do 30 swings. I'm just a weakling. And being a weakling is a bad thing. Yeah, a bad thing. To me, the world is made up of good things and bad things. I'm not the one who gets to decide which is which. So who does? Someone other than me. If you're a boy, being girly is a bad thing. If you're a girl, being girly is a good thing, of course. As a boy, being reliable and self-confident is good. As a girl, being gentle, delicate, and kind is good. That's why my appearance as a boy, anyway, is bad. I needed to be a girl. Unfortunately, being a weakling is a bad thing for both girls and boys.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And that's what society thinks anyway. And if society thinks that way, then that's all there is to it. Regardless of what I am, I'm left a weakling no matter what. My existence is still bad. Nothing changes. Mayuri-chan. All I can do is hug my knees and cry. Because if I keep crying, someone will come to help me. A friend will come by and ask if I'm alright. But because of me, that friend she's... Mayuri-chan.
Lukako.
A small voice calls out to me, just loud enough to be audible over the sound of the gravel moving. I look up. I look up and find him standing there, the person most special to me. Okabe-san. The moment I say his name aloud, the tears start coming. I try my best to hold them back. Yesterday, I went to Mayuri-chan's funeral. Everyone cried. I didn't know Mayuri-chan was loved by so many people. Of course, I loved Mayuri-chan too. I'm not really good with people, but she was always so nice to me. She was my best friend. It's true. I loved Mayuri-chan. She was my best friend. But Why, Okabe-san? Why are we still alive? Okabe-san doesn't respond to my words, a pained expression on his face. He looks like he's in so much pain. Of course he is. As her childhood friend, Okabe-san was closer to Mayuri-chan than I ever was. She was so important to him. How can I say something like this to him? I'm about to do another bad thing, but I just can't help myself. Mayuri-chan is dead, but I'm still a girl. Okabe-san had said that this was what I wished for, but this isn't the world I wanted. It just feels wrong for me to keep living like this. A world in which I become a girl, all at the expense of Mayuri-chan's life. I never asked for this world.
It's not wrong.
Okabe-san says to me, but even then I know it's a bad thing. So is there a way to save Mayuri-chan? I ask him, but his response is plain and simple.
No.
That can't be. I unconsciously raise my voice. I can't just let things stay the way they are. I can't let the bad things stay bad. Let's keep thinking. I'll do anything to save Mayuri-chan. I heard from Mayuri-chan before that you made a device for traveling back in time. If we use that... Okabe-san had been conducting some kind of super complicated research with Makise-san and Hashida-san. Apparently, not only had they made a machine to send emails to the past, they had also made a time machine. Traveling back in time, it all seems like some kind of dream. It's hard to believe, but if anyone could do it, it'd be Okabe-san. That's what I firmly believe. No, not just him. The reason he was probably able to make these incredible inventions is because he had Hashida-san, Makise-san, and Mayuri-chan at his side. Honestly, I had always wanted to be a part of their group, but I was never good enough. Unlike Hashida-san and Makise-san, there's nothing I can do. Even though I get that time traveling is amazing, I don't understand exactly how or why it is. I don't know anything about computers. I don't understand complex topics. I could never ask them to let me be a part of their group. It was impossible.
We can't.
Okabe-san shakes his head, his expression filled with dread, and still I raise my voice to speak again. If we go back in time, I'm sure we'll find a way.
There is no way.
Okabe-san declares, his fists clenched.
It might be cruel, but all we can do is accept Mayuri's death and keep on living.
You can't give up. Why are you giving up? Aren't you sad at all that Mayuri-chan died? Giving up, that's bad.
There is no way to save her.
No, I don't want Mayuri-chan to die.
Lukako!
Okabe-san raises his voice and grabs my shoulders in response to my continued whining. I instinctively pull back a little.
Did you think it was easy for me to give up?
Okabe-san manages to squeeze the words out. He then tells me exactly how much he went through to try to save Mayuri-chan.
I sacrificed other people's memories and dreams all to save Mayuri. I didn't care who I hurt as long as I could save her. But I can't do it anymore. There's nothing I can do.
His grief-filled cries, they remind me. They remind me that I'm only thinking about myself. I didn't even try to consider what painful experiences Okabe-san might have gone through until now. Okabe-san is the one who built the time machine. There's no way he didn't try and use it to save Mayuri-chan. He had jumped back through time over and over again to try and save her from her fate. So many times, and yet, somehow, death always came out on top. There was no running from it. Over and over again, Okabe-san was faced with Mayuri-chan's death. Faced with the death of someone so special to him. I want her to live. I don't want her to die. No matter how much he prayed to the powers that be, his feelings never reached them. Instead, only the unwavering reality of death repeated infinitely. Just how painful must that all have been? I'm sorry. How could I have said such cruel things to the person who had to watch someone he cares about so much die over and over again? But I didn't stop to think about your feelings. But even so, I can't help but say it. But it's not impossible, is it? There's still one more way left. I mean, there's still one way we haven't tried yet. The only option left. The only one. If you turn me back into a guy.
I can't do that.
His response is quick and unyielding, almost as if he knew what I was going to say. But I have no intention of just backing down. Please, Okabe-san. I don't want to be a girl so badly that I'd sacrifice Mayuri-chan. Please, save Mayuri-chan.
I won't turn you back into a guy.
Why? Why won't you?
It's what I chose. I can't keep on hurting people to feed my own ego. Besides, even if we go back to the original world line, there's no guarantee we'll avoid Mayuri's death.
But
I won't sacrifice anyone's memories. I won't sacrifice your memories for a small chance like that. It's over.
But Okabe-san, this is unforgivable. Because I don't deserve to live like this. How can I go on knowing that me being a girl contributed to Mayuri-chan's death? Because being a girl is a bad thing. That's too heavy a burden for me to bear. Why? I know this is unfair. Why didn't you send the mail to my mom's pager 18 years ago? Why didn't you choose Mayuri-chan over me? Right before Mayuri-chan passed away, Okabe-san asked me if it was okay to turn me back into a boy. In exchange for agreeing to it, I asked him if I could at least spend a day together with him as a girl. But ultimately, Okabe-san decided not to turn me back. I know for a fact that the reason he didn't send the message was because of me. So why am I saying this to him? I know it's wrong, but this burden is too heavy for me to carry by myself.
You have nothing to be ashamed of. It was my choice. I killed Mayuri. The guilt is mine.
A part of me is extremely relieved, even happy to hear those words, but it's not enough to erase the guilt inside of me.
Besides, I want you to be happy.
He says that, but happy? How can I possibly be happy? I mean, when Mayuri-chan died because of me, because of this body of mine, and anyway, Okabe-san won't be happy either. He looks straight at me, but I can't look back into his eyes. I'm not looking at anything. The twinkle that was there before is gone now. Okabe-san has to live with the burden of knowing that he abandoned Mayuri-chan, and that's all my fault. Because I said that I wanted to be a girl, Mayuri-chan died, and Okabe-san has to shoulder that guilt forever. I can't even begin to imagine how painful that must be. But can I really keep telling him not to give up? No, I'm sure that's something I shouldn't do. Telling Okabe-san to not give up after all the horrific things he's seen and experienced? I can't keep saying that to him. I'd just be being selfish. I've invented this amazing world where I can be selfish both by asking for the thing I want and for asking not to do the thing I want. Both will make me a bad person.
To be fair, this is incredibly on point trans writing.
Yeah, and incredibly good depression logic. So it's like, yeah, I've had this train of thought about stuff before.
Yeah, exactly.
This fits.
This is...
If you try hard enough, you can work out a convoluted way that everything is your fault, and even the opposite of the things that are the case, and the counterfactuals and everything. So, good job, Luca.
Good.
A plus depression.
Yay! Finally, I did something. Wasn't because of you. Please never say that again.
I get where he's coming from, but he probably just wants to put my mind at ease. Heck, I want to undo my own sins and be at ease. But I can't bring myself to make Okabe-san shoulder more pain just for my sake. So if that's the case, all that's left for me to do is...
You may be sad now, but I want you to keep going forward and live enough for Mayuri, too.
No, I don't want that. I cling to Okabe-san's chest. In that case, I want to help bear your burden together. Then maybe this weight might become a little lighter. Okabe-san's too.
Bear it together? Don't be ridiculous. A man disconnected from causality. I chose to stand by and let Mayuri die.
Then I'll disconnect myself from causality too. I regained my memories from before, so doesn't that mean I'm already disconnected? I also know that I'm only a girl because Mayuri-chan paid for it with her life. We're accomplices. The closest relationship there can be. This sadness, this guilt, I want us both to embrace them so we don't forget. The weight of my sins will also become a little lighter.
It's not... Okay, but what are you imagining is your sin here? Your sin originally was asking, hey, I kind of feel weird in this body. Could you do something about that? And Okabe being like, sure thing. And then that wasn't a sin. That was... And it's not like that's the thing that had the unintended consequences. Right? Because as we know from... It's just... It goes back to the very first thing that they did in moving towards that other attractor field.
Mm-hmm.
That as... Luca, you are literally blameless.
My sin is existing in the vicinity of anything bad that happens at any time, whether or not I was involved in it.
Okay, that's...
Or that could hypothetically happen, for that matter.
Okay, yep. All right. I see where we're going here. I understand.
Okabe-san embraces me in his arms.
Let's bear our burden together.
His gentle voice. It's so soft and fragile.
Let's live with these memories together.
I finally feel like I've been forgiven, even just a little. Forgiven for being a girl. And that sin will never disappear. It's just too heavy for me to carry by myself. But if Okabe-san carries it with me, forever, can I stay by your side forever? I love you. I know I'm betraying Mayuri-chan, but I want to be with you forever. If he stays by my side...
Of course.
Yeah, that's it. Those were the words I had been waiting all this time to hear. I wanted someone to forgive me, and Okabe-san wanted the same thing as I did. He's the only one who can forgive me, and I, him. And like that, we'll continue to lick each other's wounds. But if that's what it takes for the two of us to be forgiven, maybe, just maybe, that's okay. So far this is hewn pretty closely to what happened in that route.
Right. Yeah, so far.
So I'm wondering what happens from here on out, because it's got something different.
Well, it's divergent that Okabe's kind of accepted it and given up at this point.
No, but I mean that's what happens in the Luca ending, right?
In Luca end, they do make that decision, but Luca makes the decision to go back in time herself and give Mayuri the best days possible before she dies.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not exactly Luca end.
I see. So
Yes.
it is slightly different.
Yeah, this is different.
The two of us sit there together until the sky turns orange, just feeling each other's warmth, all the while thinking about Mayuri-chan. I'm so sorry, Mayuri-chan. So sorry. At the end of it all, there was nothing I could do for you. Nothing. If only I could return to the past. The past. Hey, Okabe-san.
Oh, from Big Sis. Hey, are you okay? Sounds like a lot happened. Are you all right? I know I'm in no position to tell you to cheer up, but make sure you eat. Mom and Dad are worried too, all right? Let's see the scent mail.
You're right. I don't want to make Mom and Dad worry too much. Thanks for being concerned about me. I'll call sometime.
I'm glad. Sounds like you've cheered up just a little. Thank goodness. Just like I said before, I'll be back around the end of August, so let's talk about it then, all right?
Okay, so can we change that phone background?
What do you mean, change?
Yeah, we gotta restore factory settings here. Wait, it didn't work? Oh, there we go. Oh.
Why did I take on that one modeling gig that one time?
Why is my phone cursed with a picture of my own face?
I did stock photo posing at one point, and I don't know why you're concerned. Every phone sold in Akiba looks like that.
Hey, Okabe-san. That's right. There's one thing that I should have done for Mayuri-chan, but didn't. And because I didn't, I made her sad.
What was it?
Cosplay. Wait, this is...
This is! Okay, no, never mind. I mean, like this... Okay, this is... Yeah, okay.
Interesting.
I mean, it's still... Because that is what Luca went back in time to do.
Yeah.
So maybe this is just an adaptation of it.
Mayuri-chan, lover of cosplay that she was, always wanted me to give it a shot. She'd tell me how I'd definitely look good in cosplay. She used to say that by cosplaying as another character, another person, I might be able to find some self-confidence. She was always thinking of me. Trying to crack that egg, she said. I didn't understand at the time. Even on that fateful day, I had given in and was supposed to go with Mayuri-chan to Komima. But I ended up not keeping that promise. Normally I'd never get the chance to rectify that, but we have a way. I finally remembered. Can your time machine take me back to that day?
You mean you want to go back?
I firmly nod.
Are you serious?
I nod once again. Okabe-san looks like he's thinking for a moment, then slowly shakes his head back and forth.
It's too dangerous. So far, I'm the only one who's used it.
Please. At the very least, I want to see Mayuri-chan off with a smile. Because I wasn't able to do anything for her. This is the only way I can atone. No. This is probably just for my own self-gratification, but it's better than doing nothing. For me and for Okabe-san.
But I thought you couldn't handle all the otaku.
I'm a bit scared, but this is something I have to do. Besides, I want to truly be the same as you, Okabe-san. If I use that device, I'll be completely disconnected from causality, won't I? And then, I could feel what you feel. We could share the guilt. That's why...
Conspiring to murder your childhood friend instead of just taking estrogen. Seems really complicated. Are you sure there's nothing else? Okabe sharpening and oh, I'm pretty sure this is it. You want the change, certain rights must be done. Certain dues must be paid. Once you...
alternate universe where future gadget number 15 is horse piss requiem.
Ugh, I've got to piss like a horse. You mean it? Once you've leapt safely, get in touch with me. I'm sure I'll help you get to Mayuri.
Okay. Ultimately, Okabe-san relents. In front of us is the broken phone
And this is
wave.
also consistent with the people who use the phone wave in game. Because in the game, the original game, the only people who ever use the phone wave are Okabe, Nai, and Luca during Luca End.
Yep.
So
It's hard to believe this thing is going to be able to send me back to the past, but apparently it only sends my memories. Okabe-san told me that it's basically the same concept as sending an email to the past. Much easier to understand. The two things I have to be careful about is that in order for the machine to activate, the large CRT in the brown tube workshop downstairs must be turned on, and that I can't go back more than 48 hours. I still don't really get how it all works, but I trust Okabe-san. I'm headed to the 15th, the morning of the day of Komima. Who knows what had happened if I arrived on the night before? As much as it pains me to admit it, I might freak out and end up not going. Today is the 20th. Since I can't go back more than 48 hours, I have to leap 3 times. Plus, the CRT is usually on between just before noon to about 8 p.m. That means that if I miss my window even once, 3 time leaps won't be enough. Okabe-san wants to limit the amount of jumps I have to make as much as possible, which means time is of the essence. I won't be able to relax or ground myself once I arrive. Oh no, I'm starting to get nervous. In other news, it's a Tuesday. Okabe-san was saying how he's never let anyone else time leap before. Is this going to work? What am I saying? I already made my choice, didn't I? I'm going to skip ahead in the dialogue.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Twice, even.
Where's the...
I'm going to fulfill my promise to Mayuri-chan, and if I fail, I'll finally be at peace.
Don't worry, your brain will hurt for a bit, but the pain will go away soon.
Oh, my brain will hurt? That's a regular day.
Okay, you know what? You must not get distracted once you reach the other side. Calm down and try to grasp your surroundings. It'll be okay. I'm with you.
Okabe-san's large hand gently caresses my cheek. My fear subsides a little. I'm going. Okabe-san presses the button on the microwave's timer and it slowly begins to move. I'll be sure to come back.
Yes, I'll be waiting.
Ah! As bolts of lightning fly across the room, I unconsciously pull back. While all of this is happening, my vision starts to go white, and I can barely make out Okabe-san. I hate this. I thought it would be okay, but I'm scared. Okabe-san... Hey. Time leap cutscene.
Woo! Haven't seen one of these in a while.
Been a while since we've seen that. Aha! Where am I? Who am I? My memories, my consciousness, my vision, they're all a scrambled mess. A terrible sound pierces my ears. Deep behind my eyes, in the center of my head, I feel a pain like I'm being stabbed with nails repeatedly. It feels like somebody's put my brain into a blender. Watch it spin round to a beautiful oblivion. It hurts, it itches, but in some strange way it also feels good. What's happening to me? What's going to happen to me? My ears are rattled by another sudden sound. This one ripples its way through my head like some kind of wave. My lungs fill up with air rapidly, as if I hadn't been breathing at all up until this very moment. I repeatedly take deep breaths. Eventually, I manage to regain my composure. I'm in front of Akihabara Station. The usual crowds of people surround me. I place my hands on my face, almost as if confirming I'm still me. It's okay. I'm me. I'm Urushibara Luka. Okabe-san told me that there was a chance of my memories becoming a jumbled mess, but fortunately I only have a little nausea and a headache. It looks like I'm okay. Oh. With that settled, I finally look at my surroundings and notice the people staring at me. Not terribly shocking, considering I was just grimacing in intense pain in front of them. Well... I try to say something, anything, but instead end up fleeing from the area.
Yep, of course. I, too, run in fear at the crime of being beheld.
Akiba's main street is exactly as I remember it. Did I actually travel 2 days into the past? That's right. I finally realized that I'm still holding my phone. Panicked, I checked the date. August 18th, 6:46 in the afternoon.
Anything new on our phone? Nope.
When I was in the development room of the Future Gadget Laboratory, I remember seeing that it was the 20th. I mean, yes, my phone might be broken, but considering that I'm suddenly in front of the Akihabara station despite previously being at the lab, I think it's pretty likely that I successfully jumped through time. Which means I have to get moving. I have to get back to the lab and time leap an additional 2 days back. Just the thought of having to experience that pain again makes me want to back down, but if I look at it as a kind of punishment, I can deal with it. That's a healthy way to go through life, right?
Oh, getting called out.
Filled with a sense of determination, I make my way toward the lab. A little farther down the street, I spot a familiar face. Luka, she?
Oh, hold on, we got mail. Goethe once said that none have ever gotten lost on a straight road. I spend so much time talking to so many different people, and yet I can't find the right words for something like this. It's frustrating. Anyway, I think it's okay to feel the way that you are right now. Just remember that time solves all things. Luca's dad continues to be fucking best dad.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You're gonna...
Thanks for the message, Dad. I'll do my best to take your words to heart. I might feel lost right now, but I hope I'll be able to find my way back.
That's one of the options. The other is...
Sorry, I think it'll take a little longer for me to go back to normal. I'm sorry for causing you stress over this.
No,
I like the first one much better.
Yeah, me too.
Hashida-san notices me at the same time I notice him, and he calls out to me in a quiet voice. Sorry, I decided not to go to the funeral service after all. Aren't you headed there now? You know, Mayushi's funeral. Oh. I finally remember. The 18th is the day of Mayuri-chan's funeral. She passed away on the 15th. The funeral normally would have been held on the 16th, but because burying someone on Tomobiki is considered bad luck, it got pushed back. Come to think of it, Hashida-san wasn't there that day. And actually, I only now realize that I'm in my school uniform. I probably didn't notice because of my headache, but the areas around my eyelids are swollen too. It hurts quite a bit. This is probably from the non-stop crying over the last few days. I really did travel back to the 18th. So, that's that. I'll be seeing ya. Hey. I call out to Hashida-san without thinking. What's up? Why? Why aren't you going, Hashida-san, to Mayuri-chan's funeral, I mean? Well... Hashida-san lowers the brim of his hat, hiding his eyes. If I went, I'd have to accept that she's really gone. Oh. If I go to the funeral, then that's it. Mayushi will really be dead. And you know what? I don't accept that. I haven't accepted that. Hashida-san. Mayushi was just fine. She was happy and smiling and laughing like she always does. And you're telling me she...
Nope. Just gonna accidentally go ahead, yep.
You're telling me she just dropped dead out of nowhere? Like hell I'm gonna believe that. Hashida-san was with Mayuri-chan on the 15th at Komima. Tragedy struck on the way home. He was the one there when she passed away. Hey, Lukashi, did you know that things only occur if someone is there to observe them? As long as I don't see her, Mayushi ain't dead. In my heart, she's not dead. If I remember correctly, that's... Quantum mechanics, it's pretty much common knowledge among Chunibyo types, but right now I don't care. I just want to believe that it's true. That's right. I remember Okabe-san and Dad mentioning something similar. Quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics?
Quantum mechanics.
Quantum mechanics.
Quantum mechanics.
Okabe was always like that. At the time, I didn't have the slightest clue what any of it meant. Oh, and just so you know, Lukashi, going to Okarin's place right now is pointless. Hashida-san's voice feels especially cold. Huh? Pointless? Totally useless. He's locked himself up in the lab and refuses to respond to anybody. And anyway, it's way too late for him to act like he's shocked or whatever. Act? Oh, yeah. That's right. You weren't there when it all happened, but to be honest, I've lost a lot of respect for that guy. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I've never heard Hashida-san talk about Okabe-san like this. Can you guess what Okarin did after seeing Mayushi collapsed on the ground? He didn't do anything. His face was totally blank. Hashida-san's tone intensifies. Just a goddamn blank slate. All he said was, Mayuri's dead. I can't even. Weren't they childhood friends? Didn't they grow up together? Was that all she was to him? I tried to stress to him that Mayushi wouldn't be coming back to us, and all he could respond with was, I know. You're wrong, Hashida-san. That's not... Wrong? How the hell am I wrong? Well, I thought Okarin was better than that. I thought he was more compassionate.
Everyone hesitates in life. Even at my age, I still find myself puzzled at times. It's okay to lose your way and puzzle over things while you're still young. Thanks, Luca, Dad.
He always acts like a Chunibyo jackass, but at the bottom of his heart, he cares about the people close to him. I always thought he was that kind of person. But this is just too much. That's not it at all. Okabe-san, he's seen more horrors than anyone will ever know. He's been swallowed by all of that pain and suffering. I hold my tongue. Okabe-san hasn't told Hashida-san about any of that. And if he wanted to, he would have already. He would have told him about his repeated attempts to save Mayuri-chan. He would have told him about the pain and sadness that he experienced over and over again, but Okabe-san didn't tell him. He knew that Hashida-san would react like this, and yet he still didn't explain himself. Everyone might have understood if he just told them, but instead he's trying to shoulder the burden on his own. The burden of abandoning Mayuri-chan. He knew he was going to be faced with this sort of anger. This is what Okabe-san meant when he said that the guilt was his to bear. And at the same time, this also shows how badly Okabe-san's heart has been chipped away by failing to save Mayuri-chan. I'm once again faced with Okabe-san's incredible resolve. The resolve to shoulder these sins by himself. After parting ways with Hashida-san, I finally arrive at the Future Gadget Laboratory. The first floor of the building is the Brown Tube Workshop, a store run by a scary guy named Tennoji-san. In order to leap through time, the large CRT TV in the back has to be on. Good, the place is still open. I'm awash with relief when I notice the lights on in the shop. I look up at the window of the second floor. Okabe-san told me to go see him when I got here. I head upstairs using the narrow staircase on the side of the building. The steel door to the lab makes a louder creaking noise than usual. It's still kind of dark inside, and I can't sense anybody else in the room. I turn on the lights. I guess no one is here. No. In the back of the room. There. Okabe-san. Okabe-san's leaning against the sofa. For a moment I thought he was sleeping. That's how motionless he is.
Sleeping, or hanging right in front of the Upa cushion.
But that's not quite right. Okabe-san's eyes are wide open. Just blankly staring at a single point in space. The dark circles under his eyes lead me to believe that he hasn't slept at all since the 15th. His beard has grown out and his cheeks look shriveled. I inadvertently swallow my own breath. Okabe-san is in a bad place. After everything that happened with Mayuri-chan, the first time I saw Okabe-san was just a few minutes ago, technically 2 days from now. He was in bad shape then, but nothing like this. I had heard that Okabe-san had closed himself off after Mayuri-chan's death, but all I did was hear. I never saw. I never saw how emaciated he had become. Okabe-san? I call out his name, but he shows no signs of responding. His eyes remain in place, I'm worried he's not even breathing. Considering I eventually see him 2 days from now, he'll probably be okay, but even then...
Sorry.
As I inch closer, his low voice reaches my ears. He's so quiet that I can only just barely hear him.
So sorry, Mayuri. I'm sorry.
He's apologizing. He's apologizing over and over again. Okabe-san. Unable to watch any longer, I hold his head in my arms. But even then, he keeps repeating his apology like some kind of sad, broken record. I want to stay with him. I want to shoulder some of the guilt he's feeling. But if I stay here, I won't be able to make Mayuri-chan's wish come true. Okabe-san, I need you to listen carefully. I slowly pull his head away from me and start filling him in on what's happened. I tell him that I'm from 2 days in the future, that I need to time leap further into the past so I can make Mayuri-chan's wish come true. But...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Mayuri.
Okabe-san doesn't have the power left in him to think. What should I do? He's the only one I can turn to right now. But I don't have time to sit here flustered. I have to leap 2 days into the past and then leap again back to the 15th. If I stick around any longer, even if I am able to leap back 2 days, the shop downstairs will close. That'll force me to have to make an extra leap in order to get back to the morning of the 15th. What should I do? I have no clue how to operate the time machine by myself. I want to avoid telling Hashida-san if I can. Oh, that's right, there's one other person. Makise-san. I had heard that she played a huge role in building the time machine. She might be able to help me. No, I can't. I don't even know how to get in touch with her. Okabe-san probably knows, but I can't just look her number up without his. Now's not the time to be worried about that. Sorry, Okabe-san. I grabbed the phone near him. That's a theme change.
And no, she's still got her funeral outfit from the other route.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I never expected you to be calling Urushibara-san.
I'd feel bad about you having to voice everyone in this one, but I took the last couple ones, so...
Makise-san didn't take long to get here after I called her. I'm sorry for calling you so suddenly. No, don't worry about it. I was in the area anyway. I should be at Mayuri's funeral, but... It looks like Makise-san's feeling self-conscious about her brief relationship with Mayuri-chan. I'm sure Mayuri-chan would be happy if you went to her service, Makise-san. You really think so? Of course. Well, if you think that's the case. Wait, why aren't you going? Weren't you two really close? Actually, about that. Is it really okay for me to tell her? Okabe-san hasn't even told Hashida-san the truth. Maybe I shouldn't be the one to tell Makise-san. But... there's something I need to tell you. Oh, about Mayuri? Yes, the truth is... Ultimately, I end up telling Makise-san everything. I want to avoid wasting time, but more importantly, I had the feeling that if Makise-san heard it all, she might be able to forgive us. That's how I felt. Wait just a sec. Let me get this straight. So you're telling me that you come from 2 days in the future, and you want to go back an additional 2 days? Yeah. Using the time leap machine? Yes. Makise-san goes quiet in thought. The fact that Okabe-san abandoned Mayuri-chan, the fact that the both of us decided to shoulder that guilt together. She looks like she's not sure how to react to any of it. Okabe-san's not in the wrong. I know you might not believe me, but this all happened because I said I wanted to be a girl. Urushibara-san. Yes? About that, well, it's okay, I already know. Huh? Okabe-san talked to me about it a while ago. Really? Yeah. Okabe-san really gave up on saving her? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put the blame on you two or anything, it's just, if that's true. I brace myself for what she's going to say next. Even if that's true, how could I possibly say anything? I'll probably never be able to fully understand what the two of you have gone through. Makise-san. I was right to tell her everything. It was the right move. Well then, shall we get going? Huh? You gotta get back to the day before yesterday, right? We need to move. Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry, Mayuri. When we enter the lab, Makise-san sees Okabe-san staring into space, repeatedly apologizing. She casts a sad gaze on him. Okabe? Sorry, you don't have much time. Come here. Okay. We still don't really know what sort of effect using this can have on the human body, but Makise-san speaks as she quickly preps things. But this is so we can grant Mayuri's wish. It's worth it. Makise-san. Urushibara-san, I'm begging you. Please help Mayuri pass on in peace. When she turns around to look at me, her eyes are filled with tears. And when you get to the 16th, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Huh? The Okabe from 2 days ago will probably be in even worse shape than he is now, so... That's right. When I get to the 16th, I'm going to have even less time to waste. I think I finally understand. Understand what? The reason why Okabe-san chose you as his assistant. Assistant, eh? If I'm your assistant, then how about letting me help you out during times like this, you dummy? Makise-san? Sorry, it's nothing. Okay, looks like I'm all good to go over here. How about you? Yes, I'm ready. I straighten my body and place my hands over the gear on my head. Thinking about the pain I'm about to experience makes me nervous, but now's not the time for complaints. All right, here we go. Yes. Makise-san's finger pushes the enter key. The phone wave starts to move, and suddenly, electricity is bouncing around the room. My vision goes white, and then... We had to squeeze in as many of this cutscene as we could into this one route because we haven't used it much this game, and the fans need it as a touch point.
You're not wrong.
Once again, my brain feels like it's being stabbed by countless pins, but eventually that pain fades. Compared to the last time, this leap wasn't nearly as bad. Maybe I'm just used to it. I'm in a back alley somewhere in Akihabara. For a moment, I question why I'm here, but soon remember that on this particular day, I was headed to the Future Gadget Laboratory in the evening. If I don't turn back into a guy, Mayuri-chan will die. At this point, Okabe-san had already explained the situation to me. I remember it being unbelievable at the time. I had a feeling that Mayuri-chan would be at the lab, so I was headed there. I did end up going, but from the outside I could tell that there were no lights on. I left without going in. I left without realizing that Okabe-san was actually inside the whole time. After leaving the area, I recalled just wanting to talk to someone, so I visited Ferris-san's cafe. But she wasn't in either. Nobody was around. I ended up going home and sitting by myself. I remember being filled with self-hatred at the time, wondering what I was even doing, but now, thanks to that, I can get to the lab quickly. Thank you, me of the past. Oh, that's right. I immediately start to dial Makise-san's number with the cell phone in my hand. Once, twice, I eagerly wait for her to answer, but no matter how many times I call, I'm met with the dial tone. Makise-san didn't pick up. She might be ignoring the call since it's from an unknown number. If I could at least get through to her voicemail, I could tell her about the situation. What should I do? Makise-san's the only one I can turn to. I only have 15 minutes before the clock strikes 8. I can't afford to just sit here.
Any other messages on our phone? Nope. Nope.
I immediately head for the laboratory. Okabe-san. I call his name out as I rush through the door. Okabe-san might be willing to hear me out. I cling to this tiny thread of hope. Okabe-san? But reality can be a harsh mistress. Just like when I saw him a few days into the future, Okabe-san is blankly staring into space. The only difference is that he doesn't physically look nearly as bad off. I have to do something, anything. I cling to him and beg for him to listen. Okabe-san, please, listen to me. I want to go back to the past. I have to go back and see Mayuri-chan.
Mayuri.
He responded, yeah, I want to go back to the past and grant Mayuri-chan's wish.
Mayuri.
I need your help to do that, Okabe-san.
Mayuri. I'm so sorry, Mayuri.
Okabe-san. After that, no matter how many times I called out to him, he just responded in the same exact way. It's almost 8 p.m. I'm not going to be able to time leap within the day at this rate. The next time the machine can be activated will be around noon tomorrow. 2 days from then would be around noon on the 15th. Mayuri-chan, she'd still be alive. But even if I go back to that time, everyone will be at Komima. I wouldn't be able to activate the machine. And then once the evening comes, nobody is going to be in any condition to think about anything else. I'll end up having to wait until noon on the 16th, and by that time, Okabe-san will be just like this. If I can't get in touch with Makise-san, I won't be able to make Mayuri-chan's wish come true. All this will have been for nothing. It'll just keep looping endlessly. Okabe-san said it too. That he thought if he could go back in time, he could fix anything, but reality isn't that simple. One cannot rebel against fate. If that's the case, will I forever be incapable of granting Mayuri-chan's tiny, innocent wish? That's just... At that very moment, I sense movement outside of the room. A person? Who is it? Wait. I suddenly remember. It was when Okabe-san was telling me about how he tried to save Mayuri-chan over and over again. Everything had begun when several armed men raided the lab. Those were his words, so... Wait, are the people outside? What should I do? If they're armed... Considering the state that Okabe-san's in, he won't be able to defend himself. But it's not like I can do much for him either. These men could come charging in at any moment, but maybe this is for the best. Maybe this is our way of atoning. Huh? It's faint, but I can just barely make out the sounds of someone heading back down the stairs. If the person outside isn't one of the bad guys, then it's... Makise-san. What? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. No, it's okay, I was just surprised is all. You don't need to apologize. Sorry. I knew it, it's Makise-san. But how did you know it was me? Well, you looked worried about Okabe-san earlier, so I figured maybe... I see. Makise-san whispers to herself, a sad expression on her face. You're right, I was worried about Okabe. With everything that's happened, there's no way he can handle all of this alone. Even as she's talking, Makise-san is sadly looking at Okabe-san sit mindlessly against the couch. And besides, I didn't want to be alone either. Makise-san? But I'm kinda surprised. Oh, sorry, I just mean, you were pretty close to Mayuri, right? I figured you'd be crying the whole time. Oh, of course I'm sad, but I've had more time to process this than all of you, so... I noticed the clock hanging on the wall. It's already 8:05. More time? Wait a second, what are you talking about? And what did you mean by earlier? When did you see me? Makise-san, I need a huge favor from you. Please help me leap into the past. You mean you want to use the time leap machine? Yes. You can't. It's still... Don't worry. I'll be fine. I managed to successfully jump earlier. Earlier? Wait, do you mean you really... This is frustrating. I explained this exact scenario to Makise-san just a little while ago. And yet, here I am having to do it again. The time we shared together remains with me, but it doesn't exist for her. I suddenly feel detached from the world. It's so lonely here. So very lonely. I feel like I'm the only one left. I never knew it'd feel this lonely to not share time with another. And Okabe-san has gone through this multiple times in order to save Mayuri-chan. He's existed in this lonely world by himself, quietly struggling against fate. Urushibara-san. Huh? We have to focus. Calm down and explain everything to me, okay? Ah. You have something important to say, right? Yes, I do. The truth is... I nod and begin to explain the situation to Makise-san. Perhaps because I've already explained it once before, things go quite smoothly by my standards. She asks a few questions, but soon appears to grasp the situation. I see. There's a lot I want to say about Okabe's actions as well as what you're thinking, but unfortunately for me, it doesn't seem like there's much time for that. I glance at the clock. It's already 10 past 8. All because I was dragging my feet. Come on, save the frustration for later. You gotta go grant Mayuri's wish, right? You know what you have to do, don't you? Yes. We just have one big problem. It's about time for...
You're feeling it, huh?
I cannot pull out an I voice right now.
Daddy!
Oh, hey, Nige. You come here just to see your old man?
Yeah.
I can hear Owner-san and his daughter talking outside. I knew it. Urashibara-san, you said you've already used the time leap machine twice, right? Yes, but all I did was put on those headphone things. The rest was... Perfect. All that's left is to input the right numbers and press the enter key. I'll handle the setup. You go make sure he doesn't close up shop. What, me? Who else is gonna do it? But I mean, Owner-san's giant physique alone is enough to make me tremble in fear. Once I finish setting up, I'll head outside and we can swap places. You'll have to leap back to yesterday by yourself. You can do it, right? You'll be okay. All you have to do is press this key. By myself. But... You wanted to grant Mayuri's wish, right? Alright, I'll do it. Now you're talking. I'm counting on you. Makise-san says firmly before heading to the computer. Empowered by her words, I exit the lab.
And we'll have to see how this conversation goes.
Next time?
Next time. I will say, it hasn't taken a turn yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised. Like, I've been kind of on edge this entire time.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, it hasn't gone there yet. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is just good. Who knows? I mean, odds are that it won't be, but you know what? We can dream.
We'll see.
We'll see you soon. Bye.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.